Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? Happy Monday, brand new week. Looks like we might finally be making some progress into this gap here. Just now poking above it. And yeah, this would be interesting if we could get this uptrend going. Kind of looks good right now. But yeah, we'll wait till after the open. It's best to lean on the side of narrower channels for the time being. But if we keep going up on the open, we'll definitely play that. Morning, Paul. Hey, Squid. Hey, Bill. Just getting some of these Nasdaq levels going here. NQ is very close to that gap fill from the what do you call it? Tariff gap. Let's find that level on ES here. Need to load like one more day. Morning, Mike. Hey, Toad. Hey, Roberta. All right, I'm loading one more day so we can get that tariff gap on the chart. Good morning, Tom. There we go. There's the tariff gap looming above us. All right. I'd bet you we're fairly close to this here. Yeah, not as close as we are on the on Nasdaq. We're like right there. Yeah, very close to that tariff gap being filled. And so also with the Nasdaq, if we continue going higher at the open, we'll look at this wider channel. I think for now it makes sense to keep it narrow though. Assume that this uptrend is played out for the time being. We got 2 minutes now till the open. Might have a little push now that this uptrend could likely be played out. A little correction back to the EMA. As far as the news today, we don't have anything scheduled, but it is earnings week, so that is another thing that's going to play into the price action this week. I'll look up what companies are reporting what day. Morning, Neil. There's the opening bell. All right, well, let's see what's up today, guys. Got a little push up going here. Looks like the market may want to make a new high. Seeing some weakness already on the Nasdaq. It's not really pushing up in the same way. There it goes. Cool, so we will consider that wider channel for sure. This fits pretty decently well, really. So we'll see if we can come back to the moving average here and have it hold a couple times. We'll look for that long. Mike, I think I answered that question. Sorry, I don't know when you posted that, but yes. If the EMA can hold we'll be looking for that long. Nasdaq not looking great for the uptrend. It's rejected at that key level. And you can see we have some empty space at the top of the channel. Doesn't look great. So that does give me pause for looking for long here. But we'll see how S&P does. All right, here the S&P is back at that key area, right at the EMA. Would like to see again a bounce up, and then I want the EMA to hold one more time. But because of the Nasdaq's actions, it doesn't look fantastic. Fernando, good morning to you. Okay, so here's one bounce above the moving average. So that's what we would want to see for a long. Came down to yesterday's high. Tested it as support once. See if we can come back one more time. Get a bullish bar like that, and I would consider going long. There's that second pullback. We'll see this level hold again. Hey, Tim, good morning. Bearish bar there. Keeping tabs on NQ. It is still below its moving average, but it's trying to go somewhere. It's trying to go up. Hey, Gene, afternoon to you. Okay. Want to see this next bar tick below. Draw in those bears and then end really bullish. Not going to trade an inside bar here though. Does need to tick below the previous one. Come on, baby. If it just launches up here, I'm going to be so frustrated. It's the worst when you have something and you're like, yeah, the market's very likely to go here. I want it to go here. And then it just doesn't quite give you the setup to execute that idea. So far, that's looking like it's to be the case. That last bar didn't go lower. This uptrend is holding though, so far. Okay, here we go. Back to the EMA. I don't like how NQ keeps rejecting the moving average as resistance. Doesn't look great for a long. But nevertheless, still waiting for it to set up here on ES. See if we can get this bar to tick below and then end nice and bullish above the EMA. There's the tick below. Nope, not quite a green enough bar for me. It had some promise there for a second, but ended with a bearish body, so we're going to skip it. NQ trying to poke above the moving average. Yep, and it looks like this is going to work out on the ES. We just did not quite get the pattern we wanted, or the bar we wanted. And that's just how it goes sometimes. I'm going to reload my chart. If you had a good bar on your chart for whatever reason, I mean, definitely take that trade. Morning, Bruno. Hey, gaming. Sorry I didn't see you when you popped in. Reloaded my chart and I'm getting the same stuff, so it's all right. That's gonna happen. But now we want to see this uptrend remain strong. So from the bottom to the top, bottom to the top, bottom, we want this to make it to the top and then pull back, and we could get another long. Whoa, hey, there's a circle. Then we can get another long there. Yes, I'm glad you got it. Mike asking, am I going in with one contract for 30 points? I mean, I'm not going in on anything right now. NQ does look like the uptrend has been played out. Even on this wider pattern, we had to move up, break new high, so we would expect a correction here. S&P does look like the trend is still valid. However, if we don't come and fill the top of this channel and kind of roll over here, that won't be a good sign for the bulls. So I would probably lean towards there being a correction here, especially with NQ being played out. But yeah, we're just going to have to let it see how it develops. Juice Badus. What's up? Juice says, I'm 21, trying to self-teach myself trading. Yeah, so listen, Juice, I'm gonna be very, very serious with you. Trading is incredibly difficult, and it takes a lot of time to master. So I would strongly advise you, go to college, get a good job, and learn trading on the side. Don't put all your eggs in the trading basket, especially at a young age. Work hard. You got time. Don't waste your money on trading. Like, trade with the simulator. Do that for a couple years while you're in college, and you'll start to build skills that you can later use. So, yeah, don't go all in just yet, but build your skills, trade on the side, practice, and then maybe you can do both. Maybe you can have a really nice job and trade by the time you're out of college. But if, and I'll say this, if you try, like, say you take that 15 grand now and say, I'm just going to make it happen, you will lose all of that money. I can nearly guarantee it. If you try to learn trading and just go straight into it with that money, you will lose it all. Well, on that positive note, guys, let's see what happens next in the market, eh? Really strong move up since the market opened. This may be a bull trap. Like, I mean, we're into the gap here. There's going to be some people licking their lips trying to chase this move, buy the move up towards the gap fill, but this may be a trap. Getting that correction on ES. Trend is still valid here, so we'll watch what happens at the moving average. ES running out of steam. Oh, dang. There's some news, ladies and gentlemen. If you needed another reminder of the type of market we're in right now, here it is. Not seeing anything on the news ticker though. Interesting. Might just be standard volatility. Possible little overshoot on this move down. NQ, this all looks like it could be part of one channel. This is basically just the expected correction we had on Nasdaq. I would consider taking a double lower high here on NQ. We did have one lower high right here, push below the moving average. If we could get one more right here, that basically it's like a break and retest of that EMA, I'd take the short. On ES, we still have an uptrend that is in play. Move up, break. We would expect one more attempt to a new high. So kind of a bummer that we're expecting different things on both tickers here. Not great. You want to be expecting the same stuff. You want the same patterns to be playing out. Right now, that's not the case. NQ putting in a pretty big bearish bar here. S&P getting a little bit of follow through. SS, I'm not seeing any news. Nothing scheduled, at least, or at least nothing of significance. All right, so now this little move down on S&P perhaps has a break and a new low if we don't have a wider pattern. SS, I think you're looking at the wrong date there. Job openings are tomorrow. So this downtrend may be over on ES. And then if we would look for a push up, double higher low. But this also could just be a wider pattern. We'll see if this selling picks up speed. Either one is very viable right now. And I'd lean towards a larger downturn simply because that's what it looks like is happening on the Nasdaq. All right, so it's looking like that wider pattern is what's the deal right now. We're back to that key level, testing yesterday's high. I like this pattern on NQ, looking for that pullback, second entry short. S&P is now below yesterday's high, so it's starting to get a little bit bearish there. And I could consider the short on S&P as well. Bull trap, guys, when I tell you. Poor bulls, man. That nice move up at the open into the gap. There's definitely some folks that got excited on that one. Downtrend is still active. We'll be looking at how the pullback looks once we start to get it. It's a pretty vertical move though. Possible little overshoot of this downtrend, so watch for a steep reaction here. Yes, kind of looks like it wants to pop up here. We are getting a little pop up off of that overshoot, and now we're going to be watching the EMA very carefully here. Morning, Kari. Hey, Matt. Good to see you guys. Gene saying I am in the 9-hour zone, which is very early day. Yeah, I'm in Pacific time, so my day does start pretty early, that's for sure. Kari asking why didn't I buy before? There wasn't a setup. That overshoot starting to look like an overshoot for sure here. Popping back up. We were right at that key level. Yesterday's high. See how it reacts here. NQ doesn't really look like an overshoot as much. I mean, maybe if we draw the... Yeah, maybe it does actually. Either way, we're looking at the moving average here to see a reaction. We want to see this act as resistance if there's any hope of a short right here. But there's no setup to go long though. We would need a double higher low. Have not gotten anything close to that. All right, so there's a nice move down off the moving average. So let's see if we can get one more little higher or lower high right there to take short. Looks better on NQ. See if we reject here on the S&P. All right, I might consider this setup here. It's a little bit riskier because of that vertical correction and the possible overshoot. But I think we'll give it a try. See if this triggers. This bar closes, I'll have to cancel my order. And that's why we wait to go short below a bar and long above a bar, because if I would have just marketed into that thing, I'd be in serious trouble right now. So you always want to wait for that to trigger. In Q, I still like a lower high if we get it. If this ticks above and then turns down really bearish. Can consider ES as well if this turns really bearish. In Q, new high on that little uptrend. But that is a break and a new high, so likely to be played out. Another green bar there. I think I might risk this bear bar if it closes below the moving average. But that's not happening right now. Come on, baby. Push down, push down. Close, but no cigar. Even less clear here on the S&P. Really no setup to get in on that. All right, I could consider a lower high. This bar closes bullish, then the next one is something like that. I'd consider it. Josh, hello. Good morning. Kind of liking this lower high on NQ. See how it closes though. I will only sell this. Yeah, I was going to say if that closes near its low, but that bar did not close near its low. This bar on ES did not tick higher, so it's just an inside bar. Unfortunately. Getting a little congestion here too. Wish we weren't in this little range. But I kind of like a failed breakout to the upside. If we can pop through this, get buyers excited, and then end in a nice bearish hammer, I think I'll take that short. This bar is going to get buyers excited, starting to break out of that. If the next one's a bearish hammer, I'll be in it. Javi, yes. The MNQ is a completely different instrument, so it's going to have different bars. I noticed that the other day. It looks like MNQ has been getting more volume lately than the NQ, which makes sense. The NQ is very leveraged instrument, so I think a lot of traders elect for something a little less crazy. Okay, let's see what happens on this bar here. It closes near its low. I'm going to probably give her a go. Riskier setup here. I think I'm going to try it though. If it triggers, of course. If this bar makes a new high, I'll cancel. More aggressive setup for sure, but it'll be worth the risk if this is when we move down to a new low. Really good risk to reward. Like I said though, if we make a new high here, I'll cancel. Okay, gotta cancel that. But let's see what this bar does. Yep, nope, green. Can't take it. It's kind of a mess in here, guys, isn't it? Had some big moves and now we're just compressed. So very likely that we get a strong move out of here in one direction or another. I'm still leaning towards the downside. But this is turning into a less and less probable of an area. If we get a really nice lower high in here, I'm still interested in selling it. But this keeps making higher highs. But this move up now does have two legs. Break new high. We would expect, just based on price action, that we would correct a bit. NQ weak too. It hasn't even popped up. NQ might be getting that pop now. Look at this. ES popped. NQ is just staying exactly where it was. So if the NQ holds its ground, could dip lower. Completely flatlined EMA here. Man, I really want to take a chance on this. A little bit too big of a bar for me. I think that'll work though. Here's the S&P. After the move up, had a break and a new high. We're correcting just like we would expect. So now let's see if we can get a setup on the way towards that new low. Another big pop up. This is really starting to look nasty here. Marvin, good morning. This is just one EMA and it's the 21. Be really tricky to make this into a wider uptrend. If we did, that would be the break and new high there. But yeah, I think we're just going to have to wait for more confirmation. This is not a very pretty area. Another move down on NQ. which again is also what we would expect. Move up, break new high. That's where we would expect a correction, and we were getting it. What a bar. Look at that thing. This is why compressions are dangerous, right? Just completely sideways. Looks like we're breaking out to the bottom. Nope. Big breakout to the top. Oh, we're breaking out to the top. Nope. Breaking out to the bottom. Oh, we're breaking out to the bottom. So that's why it's better to play the extremes of ranges rather than the breakouts, because this is often what happens. But anywho, I think I'm going to call the stream there for now. Keep in mind for the day, a couple things. One, we do not have any bias. This is still a range. Here's our overnight low, high. We're stuck right in the middle. So no bias for the day. Even on the S&P, which had more movement, we are watching yesterday's high, and we just keep getting above and below, above and below. So still no bias on the day. Got to be patient, wait for some more price action for that to become clear, and stay out of the gross stuff. Stay out of this nonsense. Well, thank you guys. Glad to be back for a new week. Should be a good one with earnings and some solid news reports. We'll cross our fingers for some good price action, and we'll keep hunting those setups. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Peace.